Hello and greetings again, Core 101 class. Hope you all are still doing well. So I wanted to come back at you and we just discuss topics for our research proposal. Of course, I know we're doing posting our topics and arriving at some of those, making some of those big decisions. Do keep in mind too that as you make these selections, that this is a topic to keep in mind that you're going to need that. Stay with that topic through Thanksgiving. I think I mentioned this too, maybe in one of the videos, and I think also live in class too, that what you don't want to have happen is get so far down the road with this assignment and then discover that you want to start over. And then you get really, really behind because as we go through this process, the proposal to the annotated bibliography, to the writing of the actual research proposal, the research paper and the little steps in between all come together as we kind of do this kind of in stages. All right, so I'm going to come down here and let's talk a little bit about the research proposal paper, and let's look at the assignment description. As this is the first part aspect of it, we talked about the three main items in class, right? And I even talked about these in the video. Do you have a personal experience that relates to the topic? Is researching this topic benefits you intellectually, spiritually, or professionally? And then finally, about benefiting your peers and your community, any of the communities that are in or around you, and those of which you are a part. So we want to think about this project as something that we're going to research and explore because we would like to do several things that we want to know, right? So I'm right here. In general, you choose a topic that you would like to know more about. You'll maintain your interest the entire semester, right? I keep saying till Thanksgiving. And it's interesting, or at least relevant to the audience, right? And those part of those three things, you have a personal experience with it, and then thinking about your community. Can be viewed from multiple perspectives and does not have one definitive answer. I think we're hitting that point. And is appropriate for a college level academic research assignment. So that's probably one thing we haven't talked a whole lot about. But of all the topics I've been reading and stuff that we've been posting, none of those particular ones come to mind. I think we might think here as far as things that are, inappropriate. It might be something that is something that might not be comfortable or as comfortable, maybe to talk about amongst a lot of people or something like that. But like I said, I have not seen or appropriate or perhaps a topic that doesn't provide the breadth and the depth that we need to think about the college level type of essay. So if your topic, for example, you want to talk about something that was interesting to you, the world's greatest pizzas, all that might be interesting to you. We might not be able to have enough college level academic research from which to draw to then provide ourselves with a college level academic research project. So those are maybe some different ways to kind of think about it. But like I said, I don't think we're anywhere in that ballpark at all. So anyway, so when we get to the proposal part, we'll talk a little bit more about this, but you want to do several things in your proposal. Obviously, clearly state what the topic is, and I think introduction is important too because it gives us an idea as to think about what it is specifically that you're talking about within the topic. So we used in class the examples of COVID-19. You might start with COVID-19 is affecting us all greatly and has done, these things, to not only affected schools, affected businesses, it's affected gatherings, church, whatever. And then work our way down to figure out exactly where in that topic where's your point? Where's your narrow focus? What is it within that broader umbrella topic that on which you're going to be focusing? And we'll do a little bit of light research on this for the proposal. We want to have at least two sources that we can point to that's going to help us do some things, right? So we might we're really kind of thinking about relevancy here, right? So maybe a source that has to do with relevancy, or perhaps that same relevancy also means that the paper itself, the topic itself is something that would be interesting to the audience as well. So there's a relevancy, there's an interesting part to it. and then say, now we're going to talk about the personal aspect, and then you can talk a little bit more about why do you want to write about this topic, right? And then we can talk about your personal experience. You think about the benefits to yourself and your community. And what do you want to know? This is where we kind of think about, in a research proposal, kind of think about the research question. What is the question that you're trying to answer? So we use the example also in class about COVID-19, and we were saying, okay, if we wanted to maybe ask ourselves, okay, what is it, how is it that the originating location for this virus is now back open, flourishing, and doing really, really well, and the United States continues to struggle, right? So we're getting a little bit closer to kind of narrowing down some of those questions, right? So there's one question: how about this one place? How come the United States isn't doing it? And what other questions do you have? And then we can kind of try to take those questions to help us narrow our focus down. And that's kind of the reason, or at least one of the reasons, of why we're kind of putting the proposal together before we get too far down the road. Because now that we got a really, really good topic, now this particular research proposal document helps us now narrow your focus and make sure kind of before you get out the gate, you got a couple of sources that you've already kind of taken some time to kind of find out a little bit more about your topic, and then express why you're interested in it, right, which we've talked about. Now we're going to really talk about, okay, within all of that, what are the specific question, or what is a specific question, or what are specific questions that you're interested in finding out, because those will help guide, help you keep on track as now we take and go find more sources in the coming weeks. All right, so that's kind of a preview. We'll get more into that next week. So keep thinking about your topics. Especially as you're thinking about narrowing it down, there's a few other things perhaps to consider. Thinking about you got to have enough sources. If you've already got some ideas of some sources, start thinking about what those sources might be. We'll talk about more specifically how to find maybe some of those sources. The difference between popular sources, credible sources. Sometimes a popular source can still be a credible source. Academic sources versus popular sources, and stuff like that. And we'll get into some of those details later. So that's all for now from Detroit. I will be in touch with you guys. Have a great weekend. I will continue working on the topics. I'll send you a reminder about your topics to make sure you post them by Sunday night. I think everyone's doing really, really well posting their ideas right now, and people are responding and giving good feedback. So I'm jumping in there when I can to also help you with those topics, getting those solidified, and then in between there, I will get the self-reflection essays caught up over the weekend. All right, guys, take care, stay safe. All of you in quarantine, we hope to see you soon. You stay safe too. Bye now.